Welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user Hydra. That is Hydra, and he's driving the Obj.261 on an encounter battle on the Siegfried line. Obj.261 is a tier 10 artillery or SPG for the Russians. Now a lot of people do ask various versions of the same question, which is, do you show artillery replays? Will you show artillery replays? Why don't you show artillery replays? And the simple answer to that is, I do show artillery replays, but as anybody who's followed the channel for a while will know, the main criteria I judge a replay by is its entertainment value and whether it's exciting and whatnot. So that's why artillery replays don't make it in very often, just because they generally aren't the most exciting replay to watch in the world and not fantastically action-packed compared to other classes of tanks. So that's the real reason, the main reason why you don't see very many artillery replays. There have been some in the past. Has a blind shot there as he sees some of the terrain being destroyed here. Hydra really is going to show you over the course of this video that he is an experienced artillery piece, as we saw the tank, well, the barbed wire get destroyed there. And he has a shot at the area. So yeah, if a replay is exciting and holds some entertainment value, then it definitely will make it in. The first, I mean, this replay is a little bit slow to start, and that is going to demonstrate the reasons why artillery replays don't make it in very often. And it's just because the early part of this game is really him just raining shots down from this mode here and then relocating quickly, which is what you need to do, because if anybody's looking in this area, then they're going to see his shell tracer fire off. So once he's made that that fire, he's going to have to move. Which he is doing now. Has a shot, then moves, then has another shot, then moves. And like I said, this replay is a little bit slow to get started, but once it gets into the action, it's a hell of a lot better. Did hit that M48 pattern earlier, not really sure how much damage he did to him, because it was in the fog of war. But again, he knows that there's an E50M, that M48 pattern, and that IS-7 in that area. You can see the M48 pattern already started to make a move because he'd taken considerable amounts of damage. And then he gets spotted out as he falls back and gets taken out by that Lerva. Now the problem with the area that he's got himself in here is it doesn't have a very good shot of a lot of the parts of the city. As you can see, you can sneak some shots in, just having a black... Oh, that was a nice shot there. Not 100% sure how much damage he did, because again, that was in the fog of war, but because we didn't see the explosion of the shell hitting the ground, we know for a fact that that one hit. And now the very long aiming time and loading time of the artillery coming into effect here. Probably got a shot on this E50M here, but having to wait an age for his gun to reload. Lands that one in, and that was a brilliant shot on the back of that E50M to take him out and pick up his first kill now of this match. It looks like XVM isn't properly registering how much damage he's done, so it looks like we're going to have to wait till the end of this game before we know what the final count is. But we can see by his actions that he is doing a good amount of damage already. He's having a quick shot at this M103. I'm surprised that M103 stayed perfectly still, to be honest. He'd already been hit a couple of times and then just remained in place there, and Hydra was able just to land a good shot on top of his head. Actually, that one did register how much damage he'd done, so got a good shot of 529 damage onto the M103 there. Next he's going to be looking at this shoe tank over here, but as you can see, the aiming time of this artillery is just very, very painful. You really have to predict where the enemy tank's going to go, and that shell travel time is just punishing there. I had a good prediction of where the VK was going to go, but the travel time of his shell just let him down a little bit there. Just having a look in this location, as this looks like the area that the enemy's concentrating most of their tanks in. Not really got a shot on anybody in there, so he's going to have to leave that to his teammates to deal with. Having to think about having a shot at this IS-7 as he comes steaming in, but the Batchat artillery is able to take him out anyway. That leaves him free to make another move. Try and get a better firing angle on the cap circle. Spots out that VK again. He's more thinking about having a shot at that Waffenträger, but it looks like he is not going to be coming any further forward than he is. Going to try and sneak a shot in on the side of that VK, which is a beautiful, beautiful shot there. As you can see, because the shell didn't explode on the ground there, that one definitely landed right on top of his head. And going to have to see next time he pops up, if he pops up again, how little hit points he's got left and just how much damage he's able to do. As you can see, he's making a beeline towards the centre of the map here. And what that'll allow him to do is just fire up through the centre there. You can see that kind of road between the E and the F line. And he'll be able to set himself up in that sort of location and just have much more favourable shots on the cap circle and the town in general. Just got to be careful though, because he doesn't want to get himself spotted, because the enemy team has 3 artillery pieces itself. So they could be playing counter artillery at this point. Swinging his gun around here, waiting for the reticule to close in. Again, this is going to take a very, very long time for the reticule to close in. Trying to have a prediction shot on his T-34, but he moves and then gets tracked. And as you can see, oh, is it going to land that shell? Travel time, no idea how, well, no idea where that shot went. Looks like it may have gone off map, in fact. Do find this VK4502 again. He's on a lot less hit points than he was before, so that shell earlier on landing right on top of his head. And that one indeed as well, also landing right on top of his head, taking him out, and he picks up kill number 3 now. Going to be continuing on to the centre of the map. Finds the enemy Obj.261, in fact. Unfortunately, he's not loaded. Luckily, I don't think the enemy Obj.261 has 6th sense. I don't think he realises he's been spotted. So Hydra is going to back off a little bit, allow his gun to aim in and close in. The Obj.261 realises he's been spotted here, but it's way too late. Hydra takes his shot and picks up kill number 4. So the game fairly even at 11 kills to 10 at the moment. Although I would probably... oh no, the teams are fairly even as well. There's that Waffenträger and an E5. And the Object 120 and an AT-15. And then the artillery pieces. So this game fairly even. Hydra going to be moving right up to the centre and using that large tank trap on his left-hand side as cover. I'm going to be rooting around in the town here, trying to find a target. As you can see, though, everybody trying to remain fairly safe. This E5 looks like he's going to go head-to-head with his AT-15. And, if Hydra doesn't have a shot, and his AT-15 is going to be in serious trouble. Can he get a shot on this Waffenträger? Nope. Just pops out, has his shot, and then backs off just in time. Looks like his allies, though, have the other angle. Going to see if he can save the AT-15 right about now. Has a shot at the E5, and indeed is able to take him out and pick up kill number 5. So this Waffenträger still moving around the centre of the town, wreaking havoc. His gun is about halfway through reload here, so I'm going to have to try and predict where this Waffenträger is going to go. Although it looks like he's lost sight of him as he was backing off, so not really sure where he's going to be. May have a shot into the dark here, but he is running low on ammunition, so may not want to just fire off shots at any old target. Game fairly even at 12 kills to 12 now. 3 artillery pieces for the Allies, and 2 artillery in that Waffenträger for the enemy team. So we're just going to speed this one up a little bit until we get back into the action, because a lot of artillery game is patience. As you can see, the enemy has started a base capture. The Batchat's going to be moving in, as you can see. So Hydra going to be heading in himself. The GWE says that he's too slow, so he doesn't want to make a move towards the cap circle. And indeed, the Waffenträger takes out the Batchat as he comes steaming in. So he's almost certainly around here in the cap circle. In fact, he's probably the only one in the cap circle. And indeed, there he is. Gets found out in the cap circle. Can Hydra take him out as well? Oh, yes, he can. Gets a perfect shot right through the side of the Waffenträger there, taking him out for 1,174 points of damage and kill number 6. It's absolutely brilliant, brilliant bit of TD mode there from Hydra. Now he's just got this GWE 100 and this Lorraine 155 to contend with, running all of the trees down and then backing off, trying to lure these guys into stopping and shooting rather than making a beeline for the cap circle. The other good thing is, once the trees are down, he can drive back over that location without giving away his position. Looks like neither of the enemy artillery going to be taking the bait on that one. Playing it a little bit too smart. And again, going to speed this one up a little bit, as the GWE 100 is a slow and cumbersome beast, and artillery pieces prefer not to move out of their nice safe locations. As you can see, spots the GWE 100 around this corner, going to make a beeline to try and get to him. And this Lorraine 155 snuck up from behind. Not sure why the Lorraine didn't stop and fire, but it looks like he got himself into cover instead. Now, because both of the enemy artillery is here, all Hydra really needs to do is keep the enemy artillery spotted, and hopefully his ally in the GWE 100 will be able to rain destruction down on top of them. The GWE 100 comes around the corner and he gets demolished, and now he's just got to try and square off against this Lorraine 155. What's he going to do? He's just totally in front of him. He's trying to put this statue between himself, and indeed it works! Puts the little statue between himself and the Lorraine 155, and because the Lorraine was firing high explosive ammunition, that just hits the statue and doesn't go through to do any damage whatsoever to Hydra. And Hydra's just got all the time in the world now to let this gun reload, take his time, take his shot, pick up kill number 8 and the victory. So absolutely awesome bit of play there from Hydra at the end there, getting the Lorraine 155 to shoot at that statue rather than himself. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, because as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user Iron Blood. That's Iron Blood, and he's driving the M24 Chaffee on an encounter battle on the mines. Chaffee being a tier 5 light tank for the Americans. This thing's definitely fallen out of favour, especially with the onset of the tier 7 and 8 light tanks that you get now for various nations. But as this replay is about to show, in a tier 7 battle, this thing can definitely reign supreme with its great speed, maneuverability, and quite frankly, pretty damn good gun on it. So Iron Blood going to be heading up onto the hill as soon as possible. Tries to get up on that little ridge, but doesn't have the engine power. Doesn't want to tangle with this T25-2 here. And then again, this T25-2 doesn't want to come all the way over the hill and get himself taken out either. So at least for the time being, the Chaffee holds the hill. And he's spinning himself around. It looks like an enemy T20 has pushed up over the threshold. And he's going to have to be careful here, as the rate of fire of this Chaffee is going to be able to put some good damage onto the side of him. Decides to fire at this T20. Gets a good hit on him. Looks like the T20 spun his gun around to have a look now. And he's going to have to fall back. Looks like this Panzer Soufflé is coming up to try and take the hill, but to be quite honest, a non-turreted tank destroyer should not be trying to take a hill on his own. from a Chaffee, but it looks like the rest of them are going to push on regardless, trying to fight off the guys from the front first. And that gives Ironblood an opportunity to spin around the side of this hill here and hopefully try and lay some damage onto the rear of these tanks. Gets caught out here by the T20 and this T29. Gets a good bit of damage through the side of that T20, and now he's going to have to try and run for his life. Jinks to the left a little bit to put the hill between himself and the attackers, and then moves off to the right here. This T29 not really looking in his direction, but still going to be heading down the hill to try and get out of there as quickly as possible. Takes out his track, doesn't have a repair kit to fix that up, as he'd already used that on his ammo rack earlier, as that one got damaged by the T20. And M7 comes charging over the hill here. M7 is a tier 5 medium tank for the Americans. It being a medium tank though, and also tier 5, you still shouldn't put it in the same classification as a Chaffee, as a Chaffee will absolutely outduel an M7 any day of the week. He's able to take him out and pick up kill number 2. And it's time to move off and try and offer some support on this left-hand flank here, where there is a literal graveyard of tanks right now. Enemy team does hold the hill, but the allied team is looking strong on that right-hand side, and now on this left-hand side, with all of those tanks being taken out. Although it does look like the allied team has a BDR camping right at the back there, along with a KV-1S. I'm not really sure what they are doing. Finds the enemy's artillery here. And this being the British one, the FV, it is pretty speedy, so he was very lucky to take the guy's track out, and then he's able to finish him off pretty quickly there. That FV could have really made a run for it. Now that the artillery is eliminated, it's time to come back to the hill, back to his old stomping ground, and see if he can do something about these tanks that chased him off from the hill earlier on. Gets a good hit through the back of this T25-2. Starts focusing on that one first because he knows he's got the better cannon and the slower traverse speed. So if he did realise what was going on, it would almost certainly be too late. One more hit on this T20. Ooh, only scores a critical. Can he score a killing shot? Yes, he can. And that is kill number 5. And that just leaves this Comet that hasn't been spotted yet, so I'm not really sure where he would be. Considering that the allied team have been everywhere on the right-hand flank and this left-hand flank. And there he is there, camping as far back as he can on the number 2 line for some reason. Not really sure what he thought he was going to achieve back there. All that's really going to happen is the allied team is just going to close in around him, and everybody's just going to get free shots on him. And yeah, a little bit baffling as to why a fast medium tank is camping all the way at the back of the base. Hopefully Ironblood can take this guy out for his Top Gun medal. But it looks like the Comet is focusing pretty heavily on Ironblood here. Waits for his camo to kick back in, and pokes himself back out again, then makes a dash for this rock over here. Making a good little maneuver here. Gonna see if this Comet just goes full YOLO to try and take him out. Bounces his shot, but the Comet rushes his and misses. Gets a good hit there to take out his tracks. One more shot, gets the ammo rack, and takes out the Comet for kill number 6, and a well-deserved Top Gun medal there from Ironblood. So absolutely awesome replay from you, scoring 2,500 points of damage, 6 kills, and a well-deserved Top Gun medal. So thank you very much for sending that replay in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a good replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, found it informative, helpful, or just entertaining, leave me a like or comment. And if you're not already, then definitely consider hitting that subscribe button for a lot more content like this in the future. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.